The Pittsburgh Penguins lose another one of their cup winners in Patrick Hornqvist. He's been traded away to the Florida Panthers, which is a little bit sad. And there'll be a full video of Patrick Hornqvist that I'll do on the weekend, and you know what he did in Pittsburgh, and yeah, because he was a big part of those two cups and the whole trade. And yeah, just everything really going with him. So we're gonna sort of put that a little bit aside of what he meant to this team in the last few years, and we'll deal more with it now for this trade. So Matheson and Colton Sceviour come over from Florida, and in return they just get Patrick Hornqvist. Now, there's been a lot of talk of whether the Pittsburgh Penguins are in money-saving mode, at least for the next year, and we still don't really get much confirmation on that. Right now, with this deal, they save $600,000 just because if you look at the cap hits, they are taking on cap, or it's pretty much a whitewash. But if you look at the base salary of Matheson for next year, it's $3.5 million and then $1.2 for Sceviour. So that obviously saves a little bit of money, $600,000. So unsure whether they're in money saving mode. And it could be that they're in money-saving mode to go after someone in free agency. It's been widely rumoured that we've been after Chris Tanev for a little while, but maybe that's off the table now with everything going on, of course. So, is this a good trade? Is this a bad trade? Where do I land on it? I don't hate it. Matheson, if you look at his advanced stats, is a bottom-pairing defenseman. Although I still think there's a small amount of upside there. His contract does not negate that upside, but I do think a bit of his stats has to do with the fact that he played in Florida. Bear in mind, they have the longest active streak of not winning a playoff round, which if they win one next year, it will be past 9,000 days. So I just wanted to leave you with that. So yeah, they've got to Game 7 a few times too, and lost in overtime. But yeah, so they haven't been the greatest of teams while he's been there, and they've had huge defensive liabilities and some real big issues when it comes to goaltending over long stretches. But obviously that doesn't sort of negate the zone issues, and a lot of their style of play is very different compared to the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I think Matheson's stats will actually do better in Pittsburgh just because it's not on him to take the puck out of the defensive zone. That's a lot of the forward's responsibility in Pittsburgh, where in Florida it was a lot of the defensive, and then they'll transition in the neutral zone, and it just didn't work out very well for them. But yeah, so there is that ability. Plus, he has a very wicked shot, which is not a bad thing to have. So I do think there's some upside here. Sceviour is also a pretty decent bottom six forward, and just because he's obviously worse than Hornqvist, but because there's no point paying someone to fit in that role, and obviously with Zucker coming in, Hornqvist is no longer a top six forward, and a few other things as well. This makes sense. Another reason why it makes perfect sense, this trade, is that if Hornqvist declined in another year, then the trade value goes down and you don't even get this deal next year. So I completely understand moving on from him now and looking somewhat into the future just with some of these players' ages. But what would make this trade good is if they get rid of Jack Johnson. And I know that that's the easy take to make, but with all the money that is on the left side of this D now with Matheson, Dumoulin, and Jack Johnson, it does not make sense. It just doesn't add up to me, the amount of money that they're spending. Also, fun fact, Matheson is now the longest signed Penguin actively right now. So yeah, he has the longest contract. So if he doesn't get traded, then yeah. Matheson also comes with a lot of money down the road, so he has a lot of bonuses back up at the end of the deal, so it does cost more money down the road, but obviously fans are in the arenas then, so I do understand a little bit of saving a little bit of money and doing something on these lines. But again, we don't really know if that's the mantra right now. That's the rumor that there is, and hopefully it is something like this, and Rutherford, I don't want to give him praise too much, especially with the last few years, but this is a good deal if his mantra is that you need to save money. He's found a way to be able to do that, and going forward. There's still a few deals that can be made. Obviously, Matt Murray and the Jari thing, that's, you know, something up for debate there. They do lose on cap room, so I don't know how that's all going to work, because I would have thought they were pretty up against the cap. And for Florida, they get, you know, someone in a leadership role. They definitely wanted to move on from Matheson. Their mantra of a few years ago of signing these big contracts, you know, to free agents and to their RFAs did not work. I think we can safely say that. So they're definitely looking to get out of this deal. This, you know, Colton Sceviour thing with it at the throw in. It's just to say, here you go. There's a like for like. So for them, it does help. They do need a bit more leadership, I feel, in that team, and Hornqvist definitely plays that game that way. I don't think you're getting all 82 games out of him, especially in a condensed schedule. I don't know how that's going to look for him. But I do think like a solid net presence and a player that will probably be good on their power play and probably be in their top 6, it really does help them out in that sense. So it's a win-win in that sense. But again, the Penguins definitely still have a lot more work to do. I'm wearing my Mata jersey today just because I felt just as sad when Hornqvist was traded away. And I get it. I completely understand this trade more than the Mata one. Mata was my favourite player, by the way. So for almost no reason, I just liked him. This I do understand, but it's still sad. Like, we can still be sad about it. And yeah. So what do you guys think? Where do you think this is all going to head for the Penguins and for the Florida Panthers? Is this the deal that sort of puts them over the edge and gets them to finally win a playoff round? I'm still not too convinced, especially with that defense core, but you know, I think this will help their forwards, at least for the next year, and you do need a bit of leadership if you're not able to win, and Hornqvist definitely provides that. Don't know how this is going to work with the locker room dynamic for the Penguins. I think that's been mentioned a few times, but again, these are, you know, I know it's the cliche, troubling times, but, you know, they are troubling times, and money is definitely an issue here at some point. So I do think that they've had to save some money, or at least look at ways to be able to save something. That's purely just me speculating. Got nothing to base that on. But yeah, and I think we'll all find out come draft and free agency. If the Penguins are right up against the cap, then yeah. But maybe they've been told to just save $1 million or $2 million this year and go from there. And this deal does that. It puts them to the cap, but, you know, saves them a little bit of money down the road. So that does help out. Anyway, guys, if you did like this video, hit the like button, because that really does help us out. Otherwise, if you made it all this way and you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. That's what helps us out the most, obviously. We're on 203 now, so we're seeing this thing grow. It's pretty amazing. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below your thoughts on the deal, and have a great day. See you, and bye.